Good evening, folks. This is Ron Tyler with the Emergency Management Associates.
Folks, this is Ron Tyler with the Emergency Management Associates coming to you live from the crossroads of the West in Lake City, Utah. The time right now is 7:05 p.m.
Very clear on the backside of the sun, and then the earth is hitting the earth is located around 3.5 miles southeast of the earth now. The solar wind is also
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. This is a special report. The Dow chemical plant fire in Louisiana has now been extinguished. I just got off the phone with a supervisor at the Plaquemine facility in Louisiana. The fire has been extinguished. Firefighters are presently mopping up possible hot spots, but for all intents and purposes, the danger is now over at the Plaquemine Dow chemical plant in Plaquemine, Louisiana. I have a complete report that is as follows. I have been pulling information most of the evening about this to get the latest information for you. Fire crews that had been battling the fire after explosions at the Dow plant in Plaquemine, Louisiana, the fire is presently extinguished. They are, like I said, they are wrapping up monitoring hotspots. Now, the fire first started at 9:15 p.m. yesterday, Friday, July 14th. Multiple explosions were reported at the Dow chemical plant in Louisiana, followed by a fire at the facility with no damage yet reported. Again, no damage has yet been reported because they are still trying to follow up and find out exactly what happened so they can tell us what happened and any damage to the plant. Okay? At this point in time, it's the firefighters that are wrapping up there. After that gets done, then the Dow chemical people can come in and assess any damage from the plant. Okay? Now, this morning, July 15th, the company said the incident was in the glycol 2 unit. The glycol 2 unit. According to an update from Dow Louisiana operations, the fire had been earlier today substantially reduced, and now the fire is out. Crews were working hard literally all day long and last night to fully put out the fire. Crews are still working today to make sure it is extinguished and that any hot spots have been wrapped up and there will be no more chance of a fire at the plant. The Dow Chemical Complex is north of Plaquemine, Louisiana. Like I said, there were reported 4 different explosions that took place late last night after 9:15 p.m. Dow has said that they are committed to high operational and safety practices that consistently meet or exceed regulations and applicable laws. The update read, Dow and local officials will conduct a full review and investigation to understand the cause of this incident. Iberville Parish Sheriff Brett Stassi, and I told you this morning, said last night at about 9:20 p.m. several explosions happened at the facility's glycol antifreeze area, causing a fire. As of 10:50 p.m. last night, he said there were no injuries and all workers had been accounted for. Stasi said the cause of the explosion is still unknown, but something in the process went wrong. The shelter-in-place order that was in place since the fire started last night has been lifted this morning. Iberville Parish Council Office of Emergency Preparedness had issued a half-mile shelter-in-place radius order for residents near the plant. That order was lifted at 3:42 a.m. today. Dow assured them and everyone it was safe to lift the shelter-in-place order. Louisiana Plant 1 in front of the facility was closed and was reopened about 9:15 a.m. today. And I'm sorry, it's Louisiana Highway 1, not Plant 1. Louisiana Highway 1 in front of the Dow facility was closed and has now been reopened at about 9:15 a.m. this morning. The following roads also were open according to a council update about 3:30 a.m. today. Highway 405 River Road, Enterprise Road, and Sid Richardson Road. Iberville District 6 Councilman Raheem Pierce said he was in his Plaquemine home Friday night, yesterday, when he heard several loud booms that shook his house. He rushed outside and drove to the Dow plant to discover the blaze taking place. Okay? That is what happened. This is the picture that he took last night. Okay? A video that Mr. Pierce took Friday night, it was only a 15-second video, from the grassy roadside showed a bright orange flame and gray smoke billowing from the industrial site. You can see what we're talking about from this picture. Okay? The video he took from that industrial site showed flames and smoke billowing from that site. He said, "We were all shook up. It came out of nowhere. We had no warning. We were all in shock." Calls soon flooded in from constituents rattled by the event. Pierce said he returned home to watch newscasts and stay in contact with concerned local citizens and other officials at the shelter-in-place after the shelter-in-place order went into effect. 1,600 of his constituents were all in shock as well. The unit at Dow Chemical makes a derivative chemical, okay? A derivative chemical from ethylene propylene glycol. And they had been expanding last year to add a new production line to make polyethylene glycol according to a state permit. Ethylene oxide is a human carcinogen. And when you have years of exposure, it can lead to acute short-term problems. It can cause headaches, dizziness, nausea, fatigue, respiratory problems, and even vomiting. This is according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The Dow site straddles Iberville and West Baton Rouge parishes, located in a bend alongside the Mississippi River. Dow is one of Louisiana's largest petrochemical facilities with more than 3,000 company and contract employees and 12 production units. This is a very large facility. And as you can see from that other photo right here, it is large. This is the approximate area that was on fire last night. This area here shows the 1,560 acres that span across this plant. It's huge. It's really huge. The fire is out. Okay? They're trying to go through mop-up operations to make sure there's not going to be any more hot spots that could re-expose the public to harsh chemicals and fumes. There is no issues right at present. That's according to Dow Chemical. Okay? Now, if we get reports out of this area, we will give you updates after that happens. But at present time, we don't have any more public opinion. Dow Chemical has given us their latest update. Okay? There's something else that I want to report on tonight. I used to live in Fargo, North Dakota. I lived in Fargo from 1967 to 1972. Today, I found out that a Fargo, North Dakota police officer had been shot and killed last night. A gunman opened fire on a Fargo police and firefighters, a police officer and firefighters, for no unknown reason. Excuse me, no known reason, I'm sorry. For no known reason. And they responded to a traffic crash in North Dakota. Okay? As they responded to that traffic crash, a gunman opened up and started firing at the one police officer and wounding 2 others, and also another woman that was in the area. The one police officer was killed. Fargo's police chief today, in a news conference, said that Officer Jake Walling, a military veteran, was killed in the shooting yesterday afternoon, and 2 officers, Andrew Dotas and Tyler Hawes, were wounded. A 4th officer, Seth Robinson, was shot and killed the suspect. A 4th officer, Zach Robinson, shot and killed the suspect. A 25-year-old woman was also injured, but authorities did not say who shot her. The gunman did not hit any firefighters that had responded to that traffic accident. But, according to the police chief, a fire truck had been struck by gunfire. Zibolowski, the chief, identified the suspect as Mohammed Barakat, B-A-R-A-K-A-T, 37-year-old from Fargo, North Dakota. But they have provided few details about the suspect or the shooting. Officials at the police department are citing a desire to protect the investigation, which I totally back. The police chief said he was confident authorities would eventually determine the motive of that shooter. The shooter's dead. The first thing we always want to know in a situation like this is why. Why would somebody do this? What happened? The police chief said the State Bureau of Criminal Investigation and the FBI were presently investigating this case. Suspect Barakat, B-A-R-A-K-A-T, did not appear to be involved in the crash. Police are working and did work throughout the evening to put that crash scene to bed, to investigate and open the freeway again near Fargo. The highway in that area is Highway 94. It separates Fargo from Moorhead, Minnesota. Fargo and Moorhead are twin cities there. Okay? When the police chief was asked if Barkat was known to the police Chief Zabolski said, "I believe we have had contact with him, but not anything significant." He also said he did not know what kind of gun Barkat used. Several people witnessed the crash and the shooting, which occurred on a busy Fargo street. Genoa Peterson told the Associated Press that she saw a car crash and police standing around as she was driving with her 22-year-old daughter. Then a man pulled out a gun and began firing at the police. He, quote, "He proceeds to aim it, and you just hear the bullets go off. And I'm like, oh my God, he's shooting," unquote. One woman said she was driving when she saw the officers fall. "I saw the traffic stop. As soon as I drove, the shots were fired, and I saw the cops go down." Shannon Nicole told Fargo radio station KFGO that her airbag had went off and the bullet went through her driver's side door. At the time of the shooting, Officer Wallin, 23 of St. Michael, Minnesota, was in the field as an officer in training, having become a Fargo police officer less than 3 months earlier. Officer Wallin was characterized by the police chief as someone that meant a lot to the department. The chief said he had an excellent sense of humor. The chief also characterized the slain officer as someone who loved his country and had been deployed to Afghanistan as a part of the U.S. military before becoming a police officer in Fargo. A video that was played at today's news conference showed Officer Wallin training with fellow recruits. He spoke of his desire to pursue a career in law enforcement. He said, quote, "Throughout my entire life, I've always wanted to work in some sort of position that had a purpose behind my job. And a police officer has always been what kind of career that came to me." Officer Wallin had said, "I don't want to be sitting in an office wondering why I'm here every day. I want to be out. I want to be doing something that I can tell myself at the end of the day that I made a difference somehow." For 9 hours after the shooting, Fargo police had called it only a critical incident. Early details emerged from people who said that they witnessed the shooting or heard gunshots. Shortly after the shooting, officers converged on a residential area about 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers away, and evacuated residents while gathering what information they said was related evidence. So again, the fire's out in Louisiana. A police officer and 2 others have been shot. One of them has been killed in Fargo, North Dakota yesterday afternoon, early evening. Folks, we are glad and happy that we have been able to provide this information to you. Like I said, if any other information becomes available to us tonight or tomorrow, we'll be coming back on the air to share it with you about the Dow facility in Plaquemine, Louisiana. We hope you have a great night. We appreciate you all being here. Please, folks, share this program with everybody you know. It's very important that the information get out to the public. The public deserves to know what happened here. And like I said, I don't believe everything I hear. I will be further investigating this event in Louisiana in the days to come. Okay? We all know what happens when somebody has an event like this that has happened. So folks, like I said, please share this information with everybody that you know. Please share it far and wide. Your family, your extended family, your friends, your neighbors, the people you work with, and also the social media people that you have, that you talk to all the time. Share it with everybody. Please help us expand the Emergency Management Associates family. That way we get as much information out to people in times of trouble and turmoil so that we can help save lives. That's our whole mission with Emergency Management Associates. Hopefully to save lives, give you important information that may help save lives and keep you prepared. I hope you have a good night and a better tomorrow. If anything else happens tonight, we'll be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, take care everybody. God bless you and have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow for Come Follow Me, the Savior Said, our Sunday school class at 12 noon Eastern Time. Take care. God bless.